Welcome back, everyone, to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as we continue our campaign as Germany. If you haven't seen the campaign up to this point, there's a link in the description that'll get you caught up. Starting with episode 1, somebody asked me, why would I not always use my free priorities? Because they're not really free, is the way I can describe that. Let me show you what I mean by that. So you can see, for example, right now we are working on hull strengthening, which takes it down from 6 months to 2 months. But let me show you what else that does. Look here at torpedo tubes, which I'm not focusing on. It's at 9 months currently. If I focus on hull strengthening, it puts torpedo tubes up to 13 months. If I add to something else, say rangefinders, it puts it up to 16 months. And if I add something else, it puts it up to 20 months. So what that tells me is that by putting a specific focus on one of these, I'm speeding that one up, but I'm also diminishing the amount of investment I'm putting into everything else. So unfortunately, it's not always just free priorities. So I don't always use them because I'd rather that money be spread out amongst a bunch of things. And then when the opportunity presents itself, I will focus on certain things. In this case, we're going to go for those torpedo launcher Mark IIs and try to get those quickly. Just looking at what's happening over here with the Spanish and the Americans as they continue to fight. Looks like the Spanish have some ships off the coast of the U.S. The U.S. has a huge presence down in the Caribbean, but not a lot happening right now that we can see. I mean, there's the war with the Austro-Hungarians, which they should be dominating. 22 battleships and 16 heavy cruisers to Spain's 15 heavy cruisers as their biggest ships, but it's still a pretty even fight. Research-wise, we are about to get our next level of submarine experiments. I don't know where it'll need to be before we can actually start producing submarines, but we're certainly not there yet. And really nothing else is particularly close. Maybe internals. Protection is the next thing that we can focus on. And then we have shells and gun layout coming down the road. We're waiting on the 6 ships that we queued up at the end of last episode. There's still 11 months on those, and by then we will certainly be ready to build some newer ones. Our oldest ships now are just 6 years old, though. All right, the Austro-Hungarian Empire has declared war on the Spanish, and they're asking us to follow them into that war. I guess there's really nothing that would hurt us to do that. Pretty easy nation to take on if we've got the range to be able to get down there. I don't know if we do or not, but we're going to start sending some of our ships down that way. Let's take a look at the politics and see where we're at with other folks. We're doing all right with the Brits and the French right now. The French are the ones I wanted to go after next, but I guess we'll have to wait until Spain is brought down to size a little bit. So let's go ahead and start looking at our fleet, see what we have in that area. We've got these 3 pretty massive battleships that we can send over this way. So we'll go there first, and I think we'll try to send some more as well. These ones are a little smaller ships, but that's okay. Yeah, I think we'll go to the same area. And that should probably be good for now, because Spain does not have a huge fleet. Our empire has initiated a major offensive from Cameroon against Equatorial Guinea. So yeah, I guess I forgot that all of that's going on down in Africa with the colonization. So a bunch of American ships off the coast here. I guess that's something we should work on. Maybe send some ships down here to Douala if we have anything that's got the range. I'm not sure that we have the range for that, but there are some Spanish ships down there, so it's probably important that we do that. All right, we're going to launch an invasion of northern Spain. We'll see how successful that actually is. I've just got 3 battleships in the area right now. I do have some battleships headed down to the African coast to our ports at Lome and Douala. We've got a little bit of capacity for that down there. So the new ones, though, I think we'll definitely have them come into this area here, Emden, Wilhelmshaven, things like that. We're almost into the year 1900. We're going to get our naval invasion mission now, and we'll see how many turns that's going to take to actually unfold. German Empire mobilizes to launch a naval invasion against Spanish Empire in northern Spain. While the fleet is inside the attack zone, troops are carried and land battles occur near the shore. 10,000 lost for us, 4,500 lost for the Spanish. Let's see what it says about this invasion. Needed tonnage is a lot more than we have right now, so we got to send some more ships down for this. Let's send these 3 here. That'll get us a little closer to what we need. And we haven't had any actual missions where we've had to fight yet. Alright, this one might get interesting. We're going to have 3 battleships, and definitely not our newest or biggest battleships. These are Bismarck class, which are actually our oldest battleships in the fleet. But going up against a bunch of heavy cruisers, light cruisers, torpedo boats. This might be a tough fight for us. Okay, we've spotted his lead ship. I'm actually going to start turning this way because I want to try and stay up with the... Oh, they're in 2 different columns. This is going to get a little more interesting. Alright, I'm going to detach the Siegfried here. And we're going to send them this way. And we're going to immediately have him start taking on. Looks like at least one of these warships is already damaged. So maybe there's the possibility others will be too. But we need to try and sink them quickly before he gets too close with any of these ships. I'm going to go after this one because it's not firing smoke. Alright, this is going to be fun. I need to very quickly sink a couple of these heavy cruisers and keep his light stuff from getting close enough to get a bunch of torpedoes on me. Alright, we're getting a good start on the first one here. I want to actually get my secondaries firing on the destroyer. We're going to have to go regular time on this one because I'm going to have my hands full managing everything as it is. I think we just put a torpedo in the water, though I don't know how much that's going to do against a torpedo boat. Light them up. There we go. I'm going to try and draw them in 2 different directions here if I can. Gonna put everything I've got on the closest threat here. No. I want you to fire on this guy. Need to start sinking some of these things. This is a good chunk of the Spanish fleet, though, so if I could come out of here victorious at whatever the cost, probably worth it. I gotta slow down so I can maximize my percentage on accuracy. You see it was at 33%, and now as I'm slowing down it's starting to improve. Alright, so those initial hits we made on that torpedo boat seem to have sunk them. There's some good hits over here. These heavy cruisers are holding up well, though. He's not really suffering any flooding so far, which is what's really hurting us at the moment. These older ships don't have the extra torpedo range. There goes a light... Oh, big hit on a light cruiser. So Siegfried's doing its job so far. Alright, we're going to have to start coming around and coming after him because he's sending the majority of his fleet now after the other 2. Let's start swinging around the other way so we can buy some time. Torpedo boat and light cruiser down so far. Need to start taking out these heavies. Oh, torpedo in the water. Let's pause for a second. Speed up. I think we can get past this thing. Come on, turn, baby, turn. Actually, probably slowing down would have been better than speeding up, but it worked. Need to get this guy back into the fight. He's lagging behind where the rest of the enemies are. Ooh, big hit, big hit. That should be enough. Yeah, they're toast. There's the first light cruiser down. There's a second one. What happened? We just took out 2 of them instantly. Santa Barbara got hit a while ago and I didn't even realize it. So there went 2 heavy cruisers back to back. So that's 4 ships down now. Looking good, looking good. Alright, we just landed another big hit, this time on one of the torpedo boats. Those are probably the main threat at this point. Just because the heavy cruisers have 7-inch guns, which could certainly do some damage, but I'm more concerned about the speed and the torpedoes from these smaller ones. Alright, let's try and hit this light cruiser that's following the Schwaben. And we've got the Siegfried getting back into the fight now. Oh, there's some big hits on that torpedo boat. Alright, I'm going to send Siegfried over this way, see if we can't take out these 2 heavy cruisers in the back. Just landed a good hit there. There's another heavy cruiser right here. I'm going to go secondaries on the torpedo boat and mains on the heavy cruiser. I'm going to watch here. I'm going to start turning because he's going to probably put a torpedo on me. We should be able to do the same thing on him. Not entirely sure why we haven't got one in the water yet. There it goes. And that should be a hit. It's going to be a solid hit. Oh, it's going to be out in front. Oh, just missed him. Too far out in front. 2 heavy cruisers right next to each other. So if I miss one, I can hit the other. There's a torpedo detonation. Siegfried's going to take both of these guys out. Let's swing around, see if we can't get in torpedo range. And start swinging back around the other way here. One more good hit can take out the Santiago Mayor. There goes that one. Let's get the secondaries on this torpedo boat. We do have a torpedo in the water, but I don't think it's going to hit, and I think he's going to be sunk anyway before it even gets there. Because he's got some flooding going on. One more compartment floods. He's toast. Ah, his pumps are getting on top of it. Alright, that's not going to work. Oh, big time. Light up that heavy cruiser. He's done. Alright, that leaves just the Santiago El Mayor. Tell you what, there's not going to be much left of the Spanish fleet if we have a couple battles like this. He doesn't have any battleships in his fleet. Alright, that leaves just a couple of torpedo boats. And then this light cruiser way out here, who's probably running away. Okay, so that battle ended with a couple of those ships getting away, but we did our job. 7,000 victory points, 1,000 crew losses, 9 ships sunk, including 5 heavy cruisers, and very little damage done to our own ships. So that is massive for the Spanish fleet. He has very little left with which to fight. We have one more battle like that, and his fleet's pretty well toast. There we go. Let's see what that leaves the Spanish fleet with. 16 heavy cruisers, 20 light cruisers, and 30 torpedo boats. So we took out a fourth of his heaviest ships. We still got 39 battleships. 4 months away from completion of those, and then we'll start building some new ones. Any research we can get done in the next 4 months would be very helpful. I don't think there is. Turret mechanisms is about all we have. We're getting at naval gun barrels 1. And actually we could get gun layout done too. Barbette anti-flash 2. Well, this is pretty huge. The Italian Empire's attack against Belgium caused a major disturbance in the following nations. So it looks like Italy's going to be pretty darn close to war, if not at war with those nations. Let's take a look at politics for a second. What did Italy do? They're minus 89 with the Brits, minus 89 with the French. So they're not quite at war, but they're pretty dang close. We have enough needed tonnage now, finally, for the naval invasion. So it's going to take another 10 turns, almost a year, to make that naval invasion happen. But that'll be huge once we do make it happen. I think those ships should be done. 2 months away still. And then we'll be able to build some new ones. So Belgium has signed a special alliance and trade agreement with the German Empire. So that'll be helpful. A lot of soldiers lost in special army operations. What's going on, by the way, with this down here? It looks like this invasion's still happening, but nothing major. There's no oil production there. I'm really not sure what we're hoping to gain by that. We do have some ships down here now. They're way over the port capacity, though, so I guess we got to be a little careful with that. What can we do with those? Not really any Spanish ships that I can see in the area. Maybe we'll send at least one of them up here. Same thing here. More than we can really handle. So let's send the better of the two, the Alsace, up here to help kind of patrol things a little bit. And then, how are we on research? We're 2 months away from Capital Ship Towers 2. And also auxiliary petrol engine. So I think we might wait before we build these new ones. These other ones are commissioning now. We have almost $2 billion in naval funds. The Soviet Union observes so far the war, but seems to slowly mobilize its forces against us. That's not ideal. Auxiliary petrol engine, Capital Ship Towers 2. No, we're not going to build any for anybody else. Let's go ahead and turn all of these special focuses off. And let's go into design. Time for a new design, see what we can come up with. So we can put some Mark II 12 inches on the back, but we can't fit them on the front. That's just one of the things I just hate about this hull design. I cannot wait until we can get a better hull design to solve that problem. So for now, we're just going to stick some 8s up front and see if we can't. Maybe we can extend the barrel on those and make them up to 8.9. There we go. That's as high as we can go. Same thing with these 12s. See if we can go up to 12.9 with those. A bit of a pitch problem, but we'll see where that's at once we deal with everything else. Let's get the stereoscopic rangefinders. We have capped armor-piercing shells now. I still feel like the semis are better for the time being. And I still like the idea of standard ratio. Everything else, we're going to try to max out, and then once we max it out, we'll see where we might have to cut back depending on what's available, because we still got to put some more guns on this thing. But so far so good. I can probably drop the range, because even 16,000 gets us as far as our ports in Africa, so there's no worries there. We have auxiliary engine on these things now. Let's get the 17-inch torpedo tubes. And engine efficiency is great. We could probably just go with one funnel. That'll save a bunch on weight and keeps us pretty close to max engine efficiency at 17.5. It did say the ideal speed for these is 18.8, which I guess we could probably do. But then we're going to need maybe 2 medium funnels. Yeah, that still leaves us some weight. These will be much faster than what we previously had. Can we get some 6s on this thing? No, we can't. We can throw some 4s probably on the side. Yeah, it's the same thing we've been dealing with these hulls. We could do some 5-inch casemate guns. It's a lot of guns, and it still leaves us some room left over for some armor to maybe try and balance this pitch out a little bit. Okay, I think we're good where we are. I tried messing with the beam and the draft, seeing if making it wider, making it higher would help any, but it really didn't change things too much. So that pitch is just going to be something we have to deal with. But these are going to be by far the most state-of-the-art battleships we have in our fleet, and also by far our biggest. We're starting to get some 17,000-ton ships in there in place of these 11, 12, 13,000-ton ships we've had so far. So I can't wait to take those first ones out that we just completed. So you can see, yeah, they're the other big ships that we just built, the other 17,000-ton ships that we have. These are going to be bigger guns. It's going to be better tech, obviously, because we've got new tech. It's going to be much faster than the previous ones that we had. So let's go ahead and queue up 6 of those. Actually, we'll go 7. I think we can go 7 of those at the same time. And our naval invasion is getting close. Equatorial Guinea has been conquered by the German Empire. We lost 20,000 men in making that happen. But there's some new territory in Africa that doesn't really do us a lot of good. Just gains us a new small port that we can't even put a single battleship in. We've got a couple of ships that are moving up into this position here around Spanish waters, and we are sending some additional battleships in here. Yeah, sea control, I think is probably what we want to do with them. That's one of our big ones, Kaiser Barbarossa. I don't know why it's overweight, because that's going to give us some hits to things. I guess they just maybe loaded up with a lot of weaponry and things like that. Our shipbuilding capacity has improved. We've actually got another 28,000, 29,000 available to us here. So let's go ahead back to our ship design and queue up 2 more of these things. That'll be a little bit over our capacity, but not by much. So that gives us 9 new battleships on the way, and we're still making a big profit on our monthly balance because we're at war right now. We've got over $2 billion. German Empire failed to gain control of northern Spain, so that did not do us any good. So I guess we forget about the invasions for now, and let's focus on instead going after the enemy. Try to sink some more of his ships and force him to the negotiating table, and we'll try to take territory that way. Okay, this one ought to be interesting. We've got a couple of our biggest battleships, actually 5 of our biggest battleships, plus 1 Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse class that are going to be taking on a pretty small Spanish fleet. I feel like this is a very one-sided fight, but it's another opportunity to show our dominance on the Spanish. So I don't know if this is from the naval invasion, but these 4 ships all are in need of repairs. That is not an ideal situation to be going into battle with. Thankfully, we're not facing any real powerful enemies here. Actually, all 6 of them. Look at that. Look at the damage on these things. 22% structural? Wow. All right. Okay, we've made contact. We just got to make sure we don't take any major damage because we could lose a couple of these ships pretty easily. This one up front's one of the smaller, older ones, so I guess if I'm going to lose one, that would be the one to lose. But we're going to have so much firepower on these guys once everybody engages that it should not take long to wipe him out. "10" and 5" guns on the Heimdall. They're all firing smoke right now. It's going to make it a little interesting to try and get hits on them until that smoke clears. So far we're not landing anything, but we're still trying to get everybody into position here. There we go. Now we're starting to see some hits. I'm on 3x speed for this one just because I'm not too worried. I'm only worried because of that damage we already took before this battle even started. The Christopher Columbus over here is trying to make a torpedo run, I think. Alright, let's start turning away. Yep, there's a torpedo in the water, and it's super close too, so not much chance of avoiding that one. I'm a little worried about structurally what that's going to do. There, we sank one of them. Dud torpedo, of course. I was able to hit him, but it was a dud. Alright, the Cristobal Colon is dead in the water. They're going down. We're landing some good hits on these other ships here. I think this torpedo boat's just about done. I love the name of this one ship. We have the Purification. Rhineland's out front at the moment. Yeah, let's get those guns on the light cruiser that's in front of you, dude. And this guy's one of my newer ships, so he's also got the longer range torpedoes. Those are Mark 1s, and they're still 15-inch, but they have a bit longer range. Oh, we're going to have a collision over here. Or nearly so. Man, I cannot believe the damage I came into this battle with on some of these ships. Okay, so we were able to finally sink this light cruiser, and then on the San Felipe we hit a torpedo, and that caused an explosion, which has done some pretty serious damage. So we're doing all right. We just got a couple more ships to deal with. The Purification's the one I'm mainly worried about. I think we'll try to get the Rhineland over here to deal with them if we can. Rhineland's got 11-inch guns, Mark 1s, but still, they've got the tonnage about 5 times on this heavy cruiser. Gonna try to speed up so I can get a little closer here. Try to pursue and get in torpedo range if possible. And we'll drive them in between us. So even if we don't get them ourselves, one of these other ships will be able to. Oh, there's a torpedo detonation. Again, a big explosion. I gotta be careful firing torpedoes here though, because I don't want them to go past him and hit one of my other ships. Let's go ahead and slow back down. Yeah, we got him surrounded now. There's a torpedo hit. Who hit him? Thuringen did it. Alright, nice job, guys. I think that's going to be enough. Yeah, the flooding's all across the bottom of the ship. They're toast. Let's turn our attention to the Phalange. I guess we can end the battle here. We need to get these ships into repairs big time, but we did sink 2 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and a torpedo boat, so significant victory. All right, looks like Spain wants a peace treaty. I don't know what we'll get out of it, but it looks like at first we're going to hunt down this light cruiser and destroy it. I would auto-resolve this, but I've had some bad experiences with that, so I'll fight it out. All right, we're getting into close range now. We're just 2 kilometers away. Don't want them to get a torpedo on us. We want to be able to light them up with our big guns as quickly as possible. Alsace has 12-inch guns. And this might be our last combat with the Spanish before peace is concluded, so let's try and take them out as quickly as we can. He's just at the edge of our torpedo range. Though as a light cruiser, you could probably avoid those torpedoes pretty easily. We just have to pummel them with our little guns, our 6-inch, our 3-inch. A lot of flooding happening already. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 compartments flooding. That might be enough to finish him. If those all fill up, 8. Oh, the whole bottom's flooded. He's done. Boom. There we go. That could not have been more simple. We did take a little bit of damage. We lost 30 crew, but it's a victory. Okay, our peace treaty has been signed after 2 years of war. It's a minor victory. We do have the ability to demand some territory, but nothing I'm real excited about. Guantanamo, I mean, that would give us a presence in the Caribbean, which I guess might be okay, and then Guam in the Pacific, but I'm really more concerned about being able to take over territory in Europe, which I don't really have that option for. I guess we could take Guantanamo, which is pretty minor. Beyond that, some ports in Africa. I really don't want anything in the Pacific right now. Canary Islands, I suppose. And I guess we can take Guam and the Northern Marianas, even though I really don't want them. And the Soviet Union and the Italians are at war now. Alright, so weren't able to take any territories in Spain itself. But let's go ahead and look at the Pacific now. You can see here we've got territory right there in the midst of a bunch of Spanish territory. We've got a bunch over here as well. The Solomons. All of that is ours. I guess we could probably start thinking about a Pacific fleet. We certainly can afford it. And then still a lot to be conquered, though. Brits and the Italians are at war, so Italy's making everybody angry, and the U.S. and the Soviet Union are now at war. France and the Austro-Hungarians, France and the Spanish. It's basically a world war at this point. Everybody's at war except for us at the moment. I do have a bunch of ports down here, too. I've got one here in the southern part of Africa. I've got one on the east coast of Africa. So we have ports kind of everywhere at this point. Where's Guantanamo? That's weird that it's not showing Guantanamo as mine. I thought I took that, but maybe not. We are right on the verge of war with France and the Soviet Union, and the UK is not far behind. I'm going to try to bring us back from the brink with the UK, although I think if I go to war with France, it's going to probably be inevitable. But let's try to improve relations there. We're trying to repair some of our ships. We've got 9 more that are being built. 10 months away on those still. Research-wise, I really want to get some new hulls. Dreadnought hull design. Yes, finally. Oh, that'll be huge. Literally, be huge. Being able to get those dreadnoughts finally. So we're going to try to avoid the war with the Soviet Union because I have a feeling France is going to happen. It's going to cost us $132 million, but we have $2.5 billion, so that is not an issue. France and Italy are at war now. I did improve things with the Brits a little bit. Man, I really would like to have those dreadnoughts in action before I go to war again. I'd like to get those going as much as possible. Gun layout. Barbette Anti-Flash 3 is coming, so let's go ahead and try to get those. Okay, here comes war with France. I could avoid it, but I'm okay with that. Here we go. France and Germany are at war. And the British and the U.S. are now at war. And the British and the Austro-Hungarians are now at war. Wow, it's World War I, absolutely. And I was just looking at this. The U.S. has 75 battleships. The Brits have 51. I thought I had a lot with 43. I got nothing on these guys. All right, where are we at on research? We're 1 month away from the dreadnoughts and from the gun layouts. All right, so we're going to go to war with France. And we're going to start taking our battleships over here. Yeah, well, I'm sure we're going to see some invasions happen. The French are invading the Spanish right now. So let's go ahead. Oh, these two are still repairing, so we can't send them. Let's send what we can, though. Over here to the channel. I want to send as many battleships as I possibly can over there. We've got 7 of them here. Some of them are some of our smaller ones, but that's okay. All right, here's our chance to avoid war with the Brits. 252 million, but it's worth it. Totally worth it, and we can afford it. So that'll help us there. We'll get +2 to naval prestige. War erupted between France and the U.S. And here's our first major action against the French, and it is a major action. We're going to take a mix of battleships. Only one top-of-the-line battleship, though. The Deutschland class Kaiser battleship. The rest of these are older tech, so not a huge deal if I lose them. But if we can take a bunch of French ships with us, that'll be perfect. We did try to withdraw. That did not work out, so let's go ahead and fight it out. All right, we're taking on 30 ships with 7 battleships. This is by far the biggest battle we will have fought. So this is going to take some managing, but this will be our last battle for this episode, I think. Okay, he got in super close before we even saw him. So right off the bat, we're going to see, what are we looking at here? Some cruisers, some light cruisers. Oh, beautiful hit right off the bat. Nailed him in the tower. He's only got a .6 range on his torpedoes, so we're in good shape there. Why is the Schwaben not firing on this light cruiser that's right next to him? We need to get some hits on them. I'm going to start turning now. Some of our battleships are still back pretty far. We need to take out these lead ships as quickly as possible. I'm going to try to get a top-down view as much as I can here. There's some nice hits on that one. He's coming in for a torpedo run. So we got to be careful here. These are torpedo boats. Yep, he's gonna have a real good shot at us here, because we're letting him get in way too close. Jeez, not even close on the aim there. Yeah, he's gonna get a hit for sure. He's well within range now. No way the Kaiser's going to avoid this, and this is my big ship right here. Oh, beautiful. That's going to sink him, but he's probably going to get a torpedo in the water first. Yeah, there it is. No way to avoid that. It's a dud. And actually, I think the Kaiser probably has torpedo protection. We're going to ram this guy here the way it's looking. Let's start turning around. There, he's done. I'm going to start turning. Bring the whole fleet around. These rear battleships are still just getting into range here. Alright, took out another torpedo boat. That's a flash fire. He's toast. Big fleet, though. Remember, we're talking about nearly 30 ships here. Major flash fires continuing to break out on that thing. Alright, we got heavy cruisers coming in now. Another torpedo boat got in real close. Alright, we're going to take the Vetten, I guess it is, out this way and lead his squadron on the opposite side. Actually, it looks like the Saber's about to sink, so we'll go straight ahead. Oh, man. Kaiser's going to take another torpedo. I doubt these two are going to be duds. 2 hits. Oh. We let him get in way too close. Whoa! Explosion on the tunnel. They're done. That happened quick. We do have a torpedo on the way, and I think it's going to be a hit on this heavy cruiser unless it misses behind him. Now we got him. Oh, it's a dud. Ah! Too common. Which I guess you would expect at this time with the technology we have. Alright, we're trying to turn away from the fleet here. Long, long way to go. I think that light cruiser's done. Posen's taking some hits. Let's see if we can take out this other heavy cruiser. Kaiser's pretty slow at the moment. We're going to try to come in at the back of his fleet if we can with this other squadron. Took out another light cruiser. Who's in the lead now on this squadron? I guess the Posen? No. Man, this is crazy. So many ships. Who's the flagship here? Oh boy. Didn't realize we were getting in like this. This is a bit of a problem. He had ships over there that I wasn't really paying attention to. The Wetton's going to be right in the middle of a bunch of his torpedo boats, light cruisers. There's another collision for him. Who is the lead ship here? Schwaben is. Hit him. Our torpedo missed. Oh, he took out another heavy cruiser. Where is that? Oh, it was way back here. Interesting. Oh my goodness. There's a torpedo hit on the light cruiser. Let's swing around here. What's happening with these guys? Doing okay so far. The problem is, of course, I'm going to run out of shells before he does, I'm sure. Okay, we just took out another light cruiser, another heavy cruiser. Several ships in the process of sinking right now. We're doing pretty good in terms of not having taken too much damage. But still, so many ships to go. You can see there's 3 more heavy, actually one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 more heavy cruisers we haven't sunk yet. And then, of course, a multitude of torpedo ships, torpedo boats, and battleships. I mean, light cruisers. What am I saying battleships for? They don't have any of those. At least not in this fight. Alright, so our squadron over here, the 3 ships, they took out both of the ones that were near them. So we're going to move over now to support the other squadron that's dealing with the rest of the fleet that's in combat at the moment. We're continuing to land some hits. I want to try and take out this heavy cruiser that's close. There goes another light cruiser. Alright, let's go after the Jaguar because they're right here. Oh yeah, we just got a torpedo detonation. Man, look at the funnels. She's got 5 funnels on that heavy cruiser. Dealing with a little speed issue here. I'm a little concerned about these guys firing over top of each other. Alright, we're getting the other squadron back into the fight now. Let's go after the closest ships. And slow back down. Another light cruiser down, another heavy cruiser down. We're going after the Jaguar right now. Just a few more coming at the rear side of this squadron. We're going to start turning around the other way to meet them. And now it's this squadron that's going to have nobody to shoot at for a little bit. He's got at least 4 more heavy cruisers out there. Several more light cruisers. We know that there are still quite a few ships, but we're down to 2.5 hours of battle time. So I'm not sure we're going to get through all of them. But the good news is our battleships are relatively in good shape. Kaiser took 2 torpedo hits, and they're doing all right. All right, he's making a run on my squadron of 3 over here. I'm going to put these guys on AI for the time being. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light cruisers and 4 heavy cruisers coming at me over here. Another torpedo boat down. We're almost in torpedo range. And the nice thing is here, if I did fire these torpedoes and I miss one of those, I have a chance of hitting somebody behind them maybe. He's also going to try to get torpedoes on me, I'm sure. Alright, let's start turning now. We got a torpedo going at him. It might miss him out front because he's slowed down. Yeah, it is. Come on, turn, baby, turn. He's going to put one on me, and there's not going to be a darn thing I can do about it. Look at all this smoke right now. That's crazy. Oh, man. How is he not dead? He is. Zaringen took some damage, so they're moving to the rear. What are these guys doing? Alright, you know what? Forget your AI. Let's get you back into the fight. Oh, I attached them to the wrong one. Still did. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Alright, we've got a bit of a mess here. My goodness, we're going to ram him. Or nearly so. He's going to stay out in front. It's getting close quarters and ugly now. Dud torpedo just hit that light cruiser, of course. I don't know what Zaringan's doing. No, I guess they're getting in behind the other ship in their squadron. The Jean Bart. Famous name of a French ship there. Alright, the Veton just got hit by a torpedo and it caused an ammo detonation, which might be fatal. There's another torpedo that just hit somebody. Yeah, I think we're going to lose our first battleship because they took that torpedo right smack in the middle of the ammo storage. Siegfried's in a fight for her life right now because they're by themselves. They're taking some major damage. There were just so many French ships. We're getting back into the action with these other ones now, though. These heavy cruisers are all together back here. The Veton's somehow staying alive. Let's try to get them out of here if we can. They can only go 5 knots. Trying to take out this heavy cruiser. He's gonna flood. He's done. There's some hits on the Jean Bart. Alright, Siegfried, let's see what you can do here. Out of torpedoes. I want to come right down the middle here and try to get after these heavy cruisers. He's doing his best to pursue my crippled Veton, but we're trying to take out those ships that are in the area before they can get us. Veton's low on ammunition because they had that ammo explosion, so they lost a lot of what they had. Trying to get back into the area with some of my other ships here. Siegfried's also pretty crippled as they had those torpedoes explode. If he can get a torpedo to flood my rear compartments, I'll be toast. I don't know what we can fire with at the moment, if anything. Yeah, we have angle issues on all of those, so we really can't even fire. Alright, we're going to try and get a torpedo on this light cruiser, and I think we got a hit. Unless it's a dud. No, that was a big hit, but he just got 2 hits on the Schwaben, which were both duds. Oh, that's beautiful. And now we'll finish them off. As far as I can see, we've got a torpedo boat, 2 light cruisers, and 3 heavy cruisers left. I'm sure there's more out there. I can't believe we've sunk that many already, but maybe we have. We're down to 1 hour and 50 minutes of mission time. Oh, they took the Veton down. I was afraid of that. Just too much damage. A couple of 8-inch shells and 5-inch shells did them in. They just they were just 1 or 2 compartments of flooding away from that happening. Now the Schwaben is going to drop in the formation. We've got 1 torpedo boat out here we can't seem to finish off. Then 4 heavy cruisers and a light cruiser out this way. None of which really have taken any damage. Well, the light cruiser has. Still need to try and take this thing up. Well, there's another ship out here somewhere that we don't see. I was sure when I first looked at the name of that ship that it was Internet. It's Infernais. So now at this point we are taking on 4 heavy cruisers and a light cruiser. There is a torpedo boat. I don't know if that's this one. That's just, yeah, that's the one that's sinking, the Sabre 21. So this may be the remnant of his fleet. Everybody's taking some damage, but under the circumstances, not a bad day at all. Try to focus on one ship at a time if we can. In this case, this is the lucky recipient of our love. Sounds like somebody's colliding. Oh, it's these 2 here. That's who we should probably be focused on then, because they're right next to each other. Alright, looks like we're going to take out the rear ship of the heavy cruisers. The other ones are starting to get away from us, though, and we've lost a lot of ammo. Down to just 140 rounds of AP. I'm out of high explosive ammo, at least on the lead ship. But it looks like most of them are suffering from similar issues. Alright, we got the light cruiser. Now we're just trying to chase down these last 3 heavy cruisers. And we're going to do that with these 4 ships, as the other 2 are just too slow and too far behind because of the damage they've taken. This whole squadron's going to have to go back in for not only repairs, but also resupply at the end of this mission. Okay, the battle has come to an end. So we did lose the 1 battleship, the Vetten, which is one of our older ones, so not a huge deal. An Odin class. Bismarck class are our actual oldest ones in service right now, but Siegfried took some damage. But we sunk 29 French ships. 4,200 in crew losses, 1,300 for us, 14,800 victory points. So there you have it. We sank, let's see, 7 heavy cruisers, all 17 light cruisers, and all 5 torpedo boats. A massive victory. So we'll see where things stand after that. France is already asking for a peace treaty. No, that is not going to happen. After just that 1 victory, they've had enough already. Absolutely not. A lot of transport losses, a lot of fighting happening in Africa. But here's the situation right now. I guess this is a separate war that's going on, the Soviets and the Brits against the Austro-Hungarians, the Italians, and the Americans. Strange bedfellows there. Pretty even so far. There is also a convoy mission, but we're going to wait on that until next episode. We definitely are going to need to repair and refit that fleet. That's this fleet right here, I think. No, it's not, because that's 7 ships and they're fine. Down here are the ships that we need to get put in for repairs. You can see the damage there. You can see the ammo percentage. The fuel percentage is good. So let's definitely get them back into port somewhere if we're able to do that. There we go. And with that, we'll wrap this up. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We'll be back with the continuing battle for France. Actually, you know what? There is one more thing we want to do here, isn't there? Because we now have the dreadnought class available to be built. I think we have the dreadnought hull. If not, it's still 1 month away, but it'd be really nice if we could get our first look at, look at that. That, my friends, is how you build a battleship. 22,000 tons available. Now we're going to be able to put whatever we want, wherever we want. And this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. We can get barbettes on this thing. Oh yeah, this is going to be lovely. This is going to be a real battleship for a change. We're going to be able to do the big guns and lots of them. 13-inch. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to take these things out for a spin, but they're going to take forever to build, I have no doubt. Okay, so we can only do 3 total of the turrets with the 13-inch guns, which is totally fine, because now we can supplement with casemates guns. We can do 8-inch casemates all along this thing. All right, we're already way overweight, so that's not going to work. What about the 12s? Because I think the 12s are, yeah, they're quite a bit lighter, and those are Mark IIs, so better accuracy anyway. But we're still overweight, so we're going to have to take away some of these guns, or we're going to have to look at other ways to compensate for the weight. I think we can drop some range on these things. That'll give us some weight. We could sacrifice a little speed. Well, that's really not changing things that much to get a little extra speed. We could go to many bulkheads instead of maximum. We still got a nice number of 8-inch guns there, but look at all this deck space. I'd really like to use it. The best thing, though, is that it's all really well balanced. Our engine efficiency is actually really good. Long funnel one's a little lighter. Maybe that's the way to go here. I just took away some of my guns. Let's look at some secondaries that maybe we can throw on the side of this thing. Perfect. I think that'll work. I don't think I want to add too many more. Let's go back and put some more of these casemate guns in here. 8-inch casemates all along. Boy, that's going to be really nice to have. Let's make our crew quarters a little better. I think we've done everything we can as far as protection goes. And from there, we just add to the armor. Let's add to the citadel as best we can. I'm actually thinking I might go ahead and extend the gun caliber a little bit on the mains up to 12.5. And then let's go with a little more belt armor. Actually, we're going to do more aft belt armor to try and balance that weight offset a little bit. It's not bad. Oh, I like this. Oh, man, I'm so excited to get these out there. It's going to take a while to build them, though. $23.5 million each, but we've got the money. This is why we saved up, so we can do exactly this kind of thing and start building a bunch of them. The problem is I still have other ships that I'm building, and these are probably going to take a good 2.5 years to even build. I have no doubt whatsoever that it's going to be a crazy build time on these things. All right, so it's showing us 30 months, but of course that might be in part because of the fact that we've got these other ships that are still queuing up. They're 8 months away, but 30 months on these massive new dreadnoughts that are going to be on their way. 22,000 tons. Can't wait. We're going to wrap it up right there, though. We'll be back with another episode very soon. Thanks for watching.